What's up, YouTube? This is Diamond Bling, Exotic Chronic 420 at gmail.com. Basically, I'm going to go about telling you, first for beginners, then intermediate, then advanced growers. So I'll go beginners indoor, beginners outdoor, intermediate indoors, intermediate outdoors, and advanced indoors, advanced outdoors. So there's going to be many videos, but to start you off, basically, I'm going to give you a little idea of some of the items you're going to need to buy in order to start off and have your plant thrive. So you're going to need to buy genetics first off, and that's the most important. Get something that's easy for beginners. Don't get something that's very difficult to grow, because you obviously might fail. Most likely you're going to fail. Okay? I'm not going to get into any germination techniques. I'm just going to tell you basically what to buy and what you're going to need to buy. You're going to need to buy either a CFL light, okay, compact fluorescent, which is very cheap, but that won't get you a big yield, okay, or you're going to have to buy an HID lamp, which is a little bit more expensive. The electric will go up a little bit, will go up decent, probably 20 to 40 bucks to 60 bucks, depending on how big or how many lamps you're running. And I had the statistics actually real quick. If I look, for HID lamps, and here's how it goes basically. Alright, for a 250 watt HID lamp, either high pressure sodium, which is for budding, and metal halide, which is for growing the plant, the grow stage. Okay? Alright, 250 watt generally says it covers 3 by 3 feet. That's like, this is pushing it, but it'll cover 3 by 3 feet, which is basically, 5 to 12 square feet, it says. A 400 watt metal halide or high pressure sodium, it's the same thing, they're just different bulbs. You just got to get a ballast that is switchable, that allows you to run high pressure sodium and metal halide bulbs. Get a switchable ballast. And a digital ballast is a little bit cheaper on your electric bill. Alright, anyway, I'm going to go quick. 600 watt light covers 400 watt light covers 5 by 5 feet, which is 8 to 20 square feet. So, 5 by 5, I would just go 5 by 5. But 600 watt covers 6 by 6 feet. That's 12 to 30 square feet, they say. But this is also coming from the lamp company. They want you to buy more. An 1,000 watt light, which is one of your biggest lights that you can buy, will cover an 8 by 8 area span. When the more wattage you go up, the more it's going to cost to run, and the hotter the bulb gets. So you're going to also need to buy an exhaust system. You buy insulated exhaust so it doesn't make loud noise, and basically you would put a hole in the top of your side of your grow room, but towards the top, because that's where all your hot air goes. And you would have to buy a inline fan, and make sure that it's rated, for how big your room is. And the way to do that is length times width times height. That'll give you the area. So, usually, and then you would have to buy an inline fan. They come in 8-inch sizes, which means an 8-inch hole like that for the an 8-inch hole like that for the ducting, and then they come in 10-inch hole like that for ducting, and then 12-inch is your biggest. So you would have to see what fits your needs, basically on how big your room is. So that's the size the ducting comes in also. But always get insulated, because it will, you won't have as much noise. It won't be as rattly. And an inline fan might cost you some money, but it's well worth it, because it gets rid of all the bad shit that's in the air. It gets rid of all the hot air from your lights running. It gives you the ability to close up your room and not even worry about it not worrying about having to close it back down because of the heat. It'll expel all the heat and but you're also going to need to buy a carbon filter that is rated the same CFM, that's cubic feet per minute. That's how much air an inline fan blows. It's run in CFM. So, let's say the area of your room 720, and it's 720 um, inline fan, 720 CFM. That means cubic feet per minute. So it would remove all the air in that room in 1 minute. Okay, but you're going to need to put a carbon filter on the end of that, so you're not just pumping fresh ganja smell out into the public. So unless you're in a remote area and don't care about that, but I advise getting a carbon filter and get one that's rated for the same size, because they come in 8-inch, 10-inch, and 12-inch. So get one that's the same as your ducting, and put that on your end, and that's your last piece you put on to expel outside. Okay, and you run that, you know, pretty much all the time. You could, that's what I would do anyway, and it'll just keep your room of fresh air. But you're also going to need an intake, and the intake you always put on low. But I'm getting into too much shit, so that's just a little thing. You're also going to need an intake fan, which, to get fresh air into the room, unless you're running carbon dioxide. So there's so many things. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to get into what you need. So there's the lights, okay? You're also going to need nutrients. All right, I got examples here. All right, let's see. You're going to need to get this general hydroponics pH up. Usually that's what you're going to need, because after you mix all your nutrients together, your pH needs to be at like close to 7, which is neutral. That's what soil likes best. Like pot plants for soil likes best 7, neutral. Okay, so you'll need that. You'll need roots. Roots. I can't figure out the way to go here, but Roots Organica, Buddha Grow. As you can see, you'll need that. And you'll also need the Roots Organica catalyst. Okay. You may need CalMag by General Hydroponics, depending on the water, depending on how bad your water is. If it has calcium and magnesium in your water that you're going to be using to water, then you won't need CalMag. Okay. You're also going to need, for when you put it into bloom, you're going to need this right here, Roots Organica Buddha Bloom. Alright, they're just your general things that you're going to need. But there are many secondary things that will get you a much bigger yield. For instance, during the grow stage, you're going to want to use Extreme Serene. That's by Roots Organica. That's Aurora Grow, Aurora Grow. And that's Roots Organica Extreme Serene. And that helps for growth, and it also helps in the bud stage. But this amino aid, it helps when you transplant your plant. This I'm almost out of. But it helps when you transplant your plant. It helps throughout grow, and it helps a little bit through bud stage. These are just additives, but you can get a master pack, a master growers pack from Roots Organica for like 60, 70 bucks, So, or maybe even cheaper. It might have been like 50, 60 bucks. And then for budding, there's Ancient Amber, which will help your plants turn amber quicker, and give it a better color. I can't see here because I got sunglasses on. I think this is the HP2. This is HP2, which is liquid back guano. Okay, you use this during flowering, and it'll give you more flavor. And then there's an HPK also, which enhances your flower, enhances the taste. And then there's something called Big Swell, which makes your buds swell up really big. And this all comes in the Master Growers pack, like I said. This stuff doesn't. This is called Gravity Flower Hardener. It's very expensive, but it makes your buds very rock solid. And there's something that you could buy that works very well. It's by Humboldt Nutrients, Ginormous. You don't want to use this if you're using the Big Swell. But if you're not, this works very well, the Ginormous. Now I finally figured out how to get the glare off. when I'm done showing you. Okay, and you'll also need to get a bottle of this um, Clonex. So when you have a strain that you really want, you clone it, and then that strain's yours for life. Okay, that's all the nutrients basically that you're gonna need. All right. So basically, I'm gonna teach you that for your beginners thing. Teach you how to basically go about find nutrient deficiencies and all that. But I'll go into the for intermediate growers. I'll go into having your system so it's just like 200-gallon barrels with an air pump at the bottom with an air stones, and make up your own nutrient solution for that whole 100 gallons, and have a water pump in there with a 1-inch hose that goes to that you put quarter-inch spaghetti tubes into each plant with a mist emitter, and you put that in each plant, so and then put it on a timer, so you could water your plants twice a day for a minute, and with the emitter, the spray emitter, it directs where you want the water to go. So basically, you would just need a 1-inch hose, and you would run it down the middle of your plot, and you would just drill quarter-inch holes and put your quarter-inch tubing in, and then get a sealant and put it around that so the water doesn't leak out. And you would do that so forth, however many plants you have. And you could even go like that and snake it around if you have more plants. And then at the end, there's a cap where you cap it off. So all the water, when it's getting pumped out from the tank, is actually going through and, going to every plant. Of course, after about 10 seconds, all the plants are getting watered. But the first ones obviously get watered first. But I'll be getting into that. I'll be getting into, you know, uh, carbon dioxide and how much you should use for the size of your room. I could get into hydroponics, how to build something that works very well. That saves you a lot of money. I go into a lot of different things, and then advanced growing further outdoors. I'd go into growing, finding the location, having a water source, and many other things like burying lines and using a car battery with an AC/DC voltage regulator, so you can run electricity, and you could pump water up to your site if it's a mile away. But you're going to have to buy 1-inch tubing. So there's going to be various things that I'll be talking about, and hopefully you'll subscribe to my channel, because I will teach you a lot, and I'll get you to grow the best that you can grow. So peace out. I'll talk to you, YouTubers.